Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, Sewers, back to Officially Kimelia, where in today's video, we're going to talk about my new toy that I finally received in the mail. So as you probably already know, I brought the Juki TL-2010Q. I brought this because, I had to rebrand my business and I will be making denim and leather goods. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But in today's video, we're going to do a semi unboxing because I actually had to already take it out the box, unfortunately. And we'll go over the manual a little bit, but before I do any testing and stuff like that, or any sewing, I should say, I'm going to do some testing. That's going to be in a separate video, and I will bring you along with that. So we'll do a few videos because, as you know, I'm leaving this month to go back to the States for a little over a week. And then when I come back, we're going to hopefully jump full steam ahead in sewing. So without further ado, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am so happy to have you here. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn your notification bell on so that when I start uploading other videos and going live, you'll be notified. And as always, if you're a returning subscriber, I love you for your time and support, because you could be anywhere else, but you chose to be here. All right, so let's jump right in. So I'm going to turn you just a tad bit. And here we go. Now, bear with me because y'all know I live in a smaller space now. So I am very limited to where I can get my sewing done. But here we are. So before I do that, let me turn you back around for a second, and I apologize. So the reason why it's already unboxed. This baby came in a box, in a box, in a box. And so it gets delivered to my husband's job. However, they couldn't get it in the car. Like, they could not, the box was so big, he stated, that they could not get the machine in the box in the car. So he had to remove the two boxes, and he did leave it in the other box, the last box, the inside box, and even that is fairly big. Let me show you really quickly. So you see how big this is. So if it's this big for this box, I can only imagine what the other two boxes look like. I don't know what they look like. He took a picture of them to make sure, just show that they weren't damaged, which is good. However, for me, I'm in St. Thomas, so I could not order and have it shipped here. And so I'm like, what am I going to do? I need my machine. And so they told me they sell it on Amazon. So Amazon does ship here. And so we had to order it that way. This bad buddy comes at a price tag of technically a price tag of $13.50. I was fortunate enough to get it for $900 off of Amazon, $9.99 I think. And so and I didn't have to pay any shipping because of that price. Now I can imagine, I don't know if it's shipping on the website. I don't remember, because when I contacted them to ask them if they deliver here, they said no directly. I could have had it shipped to somebody in the States, but then I still would have had to wait. So it was a little delayed through Amazon. They stated because of the storms in Florida that I didn't see as I kept looking. However, she's finally here. So that's where we are. And that's why it's semi, like I said, already unboxed, because I had to take it out because I couldn't get it in, like I said, the car. However, this box, it was still a little heavy. And so I'm like, oh God, my back is hurting a little bit. So I said, bump it. I don't feel like doing that on camera and struggling. So I just went on and took it out and just left the paper on. So we're going to take everything out, go over the pieces that come with it, and go from there. So let me tell you now. All right, so here she is in all her glory. All right, so it was packaged very well. It did come with that styrofoam as you've seen, and so I was happy with that. So there's no damages to it. So of course it's a semi-industrial machine. And the first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and take, you know, your paper and stuff off. Some people, I usually wait sometimes for this. Sometimes I take it off right away, but you know, here it is. So, all right. I am a sewist. I've been sewing for 50 years, but every machine is different. So no matter what, you always want to read your manuals before you begin sewing, because there are some things on here right now I can see that I am not familiar with. So I do know this is the reverse. Not sure what this is yet. Here's your stitch tension, your lines that you want to do. Your hand wheel, of course, your standard bobbin. This is usually always on a industrial or an embroidery machine. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see that. Turn you a little bit more for your spool of thread. Here's two more. I'm not sure if this is supposed to come off. I'm not going to take it off yet because I want to read the manual, but I'm assuming that it does because the foam is here. Let me bring you over just a little bit more. And I got to get better with my setup because, as I stated, you know, I'm limited to my space now. I'm sorry if I kind of made you a little dizzy. I do apologize. Here's your zipper. Your foot, there's a needle already in there, which is kind of cool. Your foot is on here. Here's where your bobbin goes. Okay, so I'll do another video on this, bringing you a little bit closer. So you can see that I've never seen a bobbin that far in, which is kind of cool. All right, so not sure what this is yet, but we're gonna look. I do know here's the thing for the light. I do know that. You have your cord. You have your pressure foot also. And then you have your goodies. All right. First thing oh, and sorry, before we go any further, hold on. Oops, sorry. I know I hit y'all. I didn't take this out. And I do apologize. Like I said, bear with me. Here is your arm. I actually forgot to take this out before we started. Here's your arm extension. What I do like about this one, because I've had one for my singer, it didn't have a ruler on here. But this one actually has a ruler as well. So that's your arm. I'm assuming this is a cover. Oops. I didn't open this as well. Looks like a vinyl cover. Is it a vinyl? Oh, no, it's a pad. Oh, this is perfect. So you would put this underneath your... Oh, no, it is the cover. Oh, the protector is vinyl and cardboard. Okay. So here is your cup, your protector, your sewing machine protector. Normally, I make my own because normally they come with little cheap plastic covers. So I normally, when I get a new sewing machine, I normally sew my own. And I'll make them faux leather or cloth just to protect them. All right, so here we go. Your warranty registration. There's a card down there that fell. I'm not sure what it is. However, like I said, implore you to always read your instructions. These come in, I don't know if this is French. Actually, I'm getting ready to start learning French because it is part of my heritage, my lineage. But the instructions come in English as well. And so I would implore you, as I always say, is to read your manual before you begin sewing anything. So I wanted to go to the accessories. That's what I was looking for. I wanted to go to the accessories so we can go over some of the accessories really quickly. So I already showed you the arm extender or extension, the auxiliary cord or power cord or whichever one you want to say. They also gave some needles. 1 or 2. There are some needles in here as well. Okay. Oh, wrapped up like bubble gum. Actually, there's 4, which is kind of good. I already brought needles, but this is good. I love that there's some needles already in here, ready for you to go. However, I forgot to buy the thread. Well, let me tell you why. While we're pulling this stuff out. Don't judge me. I ordered the thread because Walmart ships out here. However, at the last minute, Walmart states it can't be shipped. Because some of our things come from Puerto Rico, and then some of our things come from the Walmart in California. And this particular order, for some reason, was picking up on California. And at the last minute, they shipped everything. Didn't tell me they couldn't ship the thread. I was getting the Goodman thread, and because it's, you know, heavier. And I can also use that thread for sewing denim, as well as I can use it to embroider my labels, which I'm going to start doing. But like I said, they didn't tell me they weren't going to ship it. And then what happened was I happened to go on and check the status of the order. And that's when it said cannot be shipped. And I was like, really? It's thread. It's a pack of thread. And so I just, from that point on, forgot to go back and order it from somewhere else. So I have to order the thread. And I may not do it until I get back to Delaware. All right. Now, here is your oil for your sewing machine. Always, always, always make sure you have some oil for your sewing machine. And this is also good for if you're doing projects that require you to use double-sided tape, your needle will become sticky. So 2 things you can use to keep your needle from being, or to clean your needle off, is you can either put a little bit of oil. I would use my machine oil. You don't want to be using a willy-nilly oil. You want to use machine oil. And I will use my oil and I will put it on the needle first. It's not going to stain your projects because you're not going to pour it on there. You're just going to take it, use a cotton swab, use your fingers, just wipe down the needle. So as you're stitching, your needle won't get stuck and the glue won't stick to your needle. Or you can just use the alcohol pad after you're done to wipe off your needle. All right. But I always have oil. I still have oil from my other machines, my 2 other machines. All right. And so next we have, oh, you have your key. Let me see. I can't even remember what they call this. It was screwdriver. This is for adjusting your tension. All right. Of course, we have 4 bobbins, which is kind of cool. We already got the 4 bobbins in here. I want to put this stuff right back. Oh, please forgive me. I want to put it back. You want to use your spool cap. Your spool cap, what it does is it helps when you're sewing that your spool doesn't go up and down and flop all over the place, because if it does, it can mess with the tension of your stitches. It can throw your stitches off. So always make sure you have your spool cap on top of your spool to keep the tension right, because you don't want to have some stitches that are elongated or pulled up and then some stitches that are tight. So you have your brush for cleaning your machine. I like this because I've never seen one that had a tip on the end of it. All right, and it looks like we have a couple of feet extensions. So we also have, oh, this is a quilting foot. So we have a quilting foot. I got something for y'all. I got something for y'all. I'm not going to talk about it right now. This is perfect. This is, y'all don't understand how excited I am. And I'm gonna tell you later in another video why. All right. Oh my God, I'm so excited about that. And, oh no, so I am incorrect. This is called a knee lifter lever, sorry. Honestly, I don't know what this is. I've never used this in the 50 years that I've been sewing. So I am going to have to look it up, see what it is and what it's used for. And what I can do is I'll do a video for you on this, because I may not be the only person that don't know what this is. I just never had one, so I don't know what that is. Your trusty old screwdriver. Now, I do have a kit already with screwdrivers because I've been sewing forever. It has a bunch of other tools as well, which is always good. There's more tools you should have for your sewing machines, because there's some maintenance you can do on your own sewing machines, but you should always have a screwdriver. So I do like that they have a flathead screwdriver. All right. Then we have, this is one of my favorites, of course, the upper feed pressure foot. I've actually never used one. I have one already for my singer. One of my singers, I should say. My digitalized singer has this. So I am looking forward to finally using it. I still have it. It's still attached to my machine. But I've literally never used it before. So I just always sewn without it. And then we have a couple more of the feet extensions to go onto the foot, the zipper, you know, the walking feet. This is the screw to screw these in. All right. We have, this is actually a fairly large foot, which I am, wow, I'm excited about. I am going to have to look up how to use this one. It has a retractable. It retracts. I think that's cool because nothing's worse than having your cords all over the place. But this one, or it doesn't retract. I'm sorry. It winds though. Wow. I love this. I absolutely love this because normally I just take my foot off. I detach it from my sewing machine all the time. And then I just put it inside of the sewing machine and then I wrap the cords around or, you know, through the arm. But this is so much better. I do appreciate this. I like this. I'm looking forward to this. Being able to do that. Put that back. And then, of course, your power cord. So these are some of the things that has come with the machine. All right. And your power cord. Now, I know they always tell you do not cut this off. After so many times of using mine, I'll cut it off because it's annoying. It gets in the way. So, now one of the other things I wanted to look at, I want to look at what this piece up here is for. And let's see if I can find it really quickly. Sorry, there's a plane going over top of me. You know, I'm in the islands and the plane that's over top of me goes to Puerto Rico. So, all right, so I found it. So, this portion right here. So, see how I was showing you this right here? That is for the combs. That's for the comb threads. It's a support rod for the comb threads. And so is the other piece. So, I'm super excited. I'm going to do another video after I read the manual. I'm going to do another video and we'll do some test stitching because this is a semi-industrial machine, so it's really fast. One of the reasons why I didn't go with an industrial sewing machine, for one, they can't be just picked up and taken with you. So if I really want to take this back home with me, I can. I can just package it back up and take it with me. I've even carried my sewing machines on the planes. I just had to remove the needles. They did make me remove the needle, and I had to get rid of my needle, which kind of sucked because I had to then go and purchase more needles because I only had that one at the time, which wasn't bad. It gave me a reason to go to Joann Fabrics. So, but it's a little heavier than a normal machine, but if you want to travel with this one, you can. An industrial machine, you cannot. And they come with tables and they're set. Like I said, one of the other reasons why I didn't get the industrial, because, you know, I'm now living in a much smaller place. I'm used to living in a 3-bedroom, whatever, house, or, well, not really apartment, but a house. And now we're in a 1-bedroom type of apartment. And so my space is very limited, and I already, you know, have stuff being stored in my bedroom for supplies and things of that nature. So my husband was like, I don't mind you leaving the sewing machine in, you know, in the living room. He was like, I don't have a problem with that. Do what you need to do. Like, that's not going to bother me. So this is where my setup is going to be for the moment. We thought about moving into a 2-bedroom, but I honestly don't want to give up that view for even the 2-bedroom out here, because the 2-bedroom doesn't have the view. So it's like a trade-off. So I'm telling him, like, I mean, I even get to sit here and sew and still look out and see that beautiful view. And I told him, I said, no, sorry, Bella, my Bella's underneath the table, and I absolutely kicked her. But I was like, no, I love the view. And so I'd rather, because it's the 2-bedroom sits down, and because he was like, you can use the other bedroom for a sewing room, but it sits down and you can't see the ocean at all. So I'd rather see the ocean and be in a smaller place than to have the bigger place and not have a view. So, but this is where our setup is going to be from now on. Again, I'm going to make another video, and I'm going to read the manual first. I'm going to do some test stitching first, and then I'll go ahead and do a video of doing some test stitching. There's still a couple more videos I want to do for you. I don't know if I'm gonna get them done before we leave or when we come back. But I am getting, people are constantly reaching out to me, asking me, can I teach them how to do this and teach them how to do that. I thought about doing the sewing classes, but honestly speaking, I don't want to charge anybody. If it's going to be like a one-on-one and you need some in-depth training through Zoom, that's different. But honestly, I'd rather just do, you know, some videos and some shorts and things and stuff like that on social media and show you some tips and tricks on how to sew. To me, I you know, I like that better. I don't want to get, I don't want nobody feel like I'm getting over on them, and I know times are hard and it's not that serious. So you always are more than welcome to reach out to me and ask me questions. I know you don't see many sewing videos yet, but I promise you, I've been sewing for 50 years. I've been in this game for a long time. I used to own my own store where I made my own clothes. I sold clothes for people in the church, people outside the church, people at work. I've been doing this boutique. I couldn't get the word out. And so, so I'm not new to this. I'm actually true to this. And I want to bring more sewists into the community, especially our people, because I'm learning that a lot of our people don't know how to sew. My very own mother can't sew. I learned how to sew from her grandmother, not her mother, because her mother can't sew. Which is the interesting thing, is because my great grandmother, which is my mom's grandmother, is the one that taught me how to sew. But my mother said it was probably the same way with her. She didn't want to learn, so she said her mom probably didn't want to learn either. But I think it's necessary. I think it's important that especially our people, that we learn how to sew. So if there's anything you want to learn, please, please, please drop it in the comments. I do go back and read the comments, and I do respond. Please be respectful in the comments, as I'm respectful to you all. I appreciate you being here. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to listen to me for almost 25 minutes. I certainly appreciate you. And again, you have a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn your notification bell on. And I will see you in the next video.